Against the brain, I only burn.
Hello and welcome back to MBBS Dose. I hope you guys are doing good. Today we are going to talk about proteins. So proteins are the macromolecules which are linear chain of natural amino acids. The amino acids are linked together by the help of peptide bonds, and they are formed by the process of dehydration, that means a removal of a molecule of H2O. So basically what happens that one end of amino acid has carboxyl group and another end of another amino acid has amino group. When these two combine, a molecule of water is removed and then forms the peptide bond. Now we will discuss the function of proteins. So basically enzymes are proteins. They help in storage and transport. Proteins are special for the cell support and shape. Some proteins called as tubulin proteins and many other proteins like this, which gives the structural support. Then we have hormones and even the receptors are composed of proteins. We have antibodies and the toxins which are made up of proteins. Now we will talk about the composition of proteins. So protein contains basically carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. The special thing about nitrogen is that the 16% of concentration of protein in the protein. It means that the protein will have 16% of the nitrogen content. Or you can say nitrogen is 16% of the whole protein in any proteins. Now we will discuss what are amino acids basically. So there are more than 300 amino acids found out there, out of which only 20 are standard amino acids which are present in L form. Amino acids are monomer unit, it means they exist independently. Now they contain amino groups. The second thing which should be kept in mind is that all the amino acids which are found in proteins are L type amino acids. Here you can say structure of a single amino acid which has a chiral carbon. Now chiral carbon means that the carbon has four different groups on its four ends. This R group is variable depending on the type of protein and it changes accordingly. Now we will talk about the two exception cases, that is glycine and proline. Glycine is exception because the carbon in the glycine is not chiral. It has two hydrogen at its two bonds. The proline is exception because it is a cyclic structure and it also hinders the chirality of the carbon it has. Now we have neutral non-polar amino acid, neutral polar amino acid, acidic amino acid and basic amino acid are the four types of amino acids. So first we will talk about neutral non-polar amino acid. I have written a short mnemonic, that is go and take vital part in promoting mother language. This should help to remember the name of amino acids easily, which is glycine, alanine, tryptophan, valine, proline, isoleucine, phenylalanine, methionine and leucine. Now it has two amino acids which have aromatic R group. It means the R group in phenylalanine will be a benzene. The R group in tryptophan will be a bicyclic indole. Now we will talk about methionine, which is the first amino acid in protein synthesis. Methionine is acting as initiation protein, or you can say amino acid. It starts the synthesis of protein, okay? Initiation codon. Now we have neutral polar amino acids. The mnemonic for it is sometimes cats try or growl. Serine, tyrosine, cysteine, threonine, asparagine and glutamine. Now something special about the amino acid cysteine. It has disulfide bridge formation. Like we can see two sulfur attached together with a bond. Now we will talk about serine and threonine. These two are hydrophilic. It means they are having OH groups. Okay. Now about tyrosine is that it is a phosphorylated amino acid and it helps in the signal transduction. Now we will talk about asparagine and glutamine. So it is uncharged and highly polar, as they are, you can see, neutral polar amino acids. So the polarity of these two amino acids are high, really high. Now when we talk about acidic amino acids, at pH 7 they have negative charge. Examples are asparagine and glutamine. Okay, when we talk about basic amino acid, it is lysine, arginine and histidine. They have positive charge at pH 7. It means at neutral pH they will be having negative charge, and at neutral pH the basic amino acid will be having the positive charge. Now there are some special amino acids which we are supposed to focus on, that is sulfur containing R groups amino acid. It means the R group of these amino acids will have sulfur group, which is methionine and cysteine. Cysteine is a dimer of cysteine. So when two cysteine molecules combine together, it forms cysteine, and this cysteine will have sulfur bridge, which is disulfide bridge. Now we have aromatic containing amino acid, means the amino acid in which the R group is aromatic ring. It is histidine, phenylalanine, tyrosine and tryptophan. We have proline. This amino acid has imino group. Now we will talk about collagen. Collagen is hydroxylysine and hydroxyproline. It means attached, OH group. The proline has a heterocyclic pyridine ring also. We have to discuss. Keep in mind. Now we will talk about the property, which includes, property of amino acid or protein. We can say it has something which is to be done with the isoelectric point. It is an important thing. So we will discuss the dissociation and pi. Pi is basically isoelectric point. The isoelectric point is a point at which amino acid has equal positive and negative charge. Zwitter ions, we can say. So when there is pH less than pi, we have positive amino acids. There is pH equal to pi, we have neutral amino acids. And then when pH is greater than pi, we have negative amino acids. Now we will talk about the UV absorption in tryptophan and tyrosine. These are responsible for light absorption at a specific wavelength, which is 280 nanometer. And the UV absorption is the measure of concentration of proteins. Now the specific reaction with ninhydrin. When we react amino acids with ninhydrin group, it detects and qualification of amino acids. It detect the amino acid and defines about the qualification of amino acids. Okay. So these are some basic point about peptides. So peptides are the linear chain of amino acid which forms proteins. So these are the polymers of amino acid. Residue is a unit in a peptide chain. Basically what is a residue? So that is a unit in a peptide chain is called residue. If we have two residues in a peptide chain, it is called as dipeptide. 3 residues as tripeptide. More than 20 residues will be called as oligopeptide, and many peptides or many residues in the peptide will be called as polypeptide. Now the direction of peptide chain is something we have to keep in mind, and it is really important. The first thing is the N term, which is known as the beginning, and this is the C term, which is known as terminal. There is no parameter or measures to like naming it. It is just a conventional method which we have been using for a long period of time. Now the N term is called as beginning is because the biosynthesis starts from the N terminal. Both the N terminal and C terminal has a lot to do with the function. They are specified for particular works. Now we will talk about the biologically active peptides. These are glutathione and thyrotropin. Glutathione act as a reducing agent and detoxification and anti-aging. We have heard a lot of creams, name of a lot of creams which contains glutathione because it is an anti-aging peptide. And it also acts as a detoxifier, and it is a reducing agent, so it makes your skin really very healthy and makes shiny. Now we have thyrotropin, which is a releasing hormone. That's all. Thank you so much. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.
I can't stop praying.